So I do my best to appreciate things that are simple and also things that are amazing. Try to grow myself as a human being and become very conscious. I went to India for a meditation retreat for a week, which was something that was on my bucket list, but it was always something that scared me because I'm like, what am I can't stay still for like a week. What I noticed was that it's kind of like if you're a really busy person and you go on vacation, it takes 2 or 3 days to unwind and let go of all the things that you were thinking about. It was the same thing for me. The first couple of days was really difficult. I was antsy, I was fidgety, I was like, oh my God, this is doing nothing. And then on the third day, I started to look forward to it. And I was in this flow and I was more gentle and I was just more appreciating things that you don't even see. And it's kind of cliche, but just literally walking slowly and feeling the ground with your bare feet. And that's where back to the first part is I think most of us are unconscious. We're such in this rat race to achieve, do more. There's TV screens in the airport and in the doctor's office and everywhere, and you can't even think anymore without somebody blasting in your face that you need to get this or get that. That's really the gift that you get, is you start to really get to know who you are. But here's what I have noticed is that most of the good work we want to do on ourselves is going to be spiritual. It's going to be health oriented. It's going to be relationship oriented with family and helping people. But most people struggle with, exchanging time for money. We were taught, get a good education, go get a good job, work hard, pay your taxes, and pay off your student loan, hopefully in 19 years, I think now is the average. And people struggle with this idea of passive income because it hasn't been introduced to them. So I took it kind of upon myself to really go out and help people be entrepreneurial in that area. Even if you're a doctor making $400,000 a year, you're still trading time for money, because if you don't show up in the clinic, then the money stops coming in. And most doctors are artists, and most people that work in that self-care help is they want to help other people. So they focus on that. They don't manage their money. So I've come up with some little things like MMI, make, manage, invest. If you are really good at making it, then go to the next stage where you get better at managing it. People that struggle financially, they're like, yeah, but that's for other people. Yeah, but why not you? Why shouldn't you write a book? Why shouldn't you have an online course? Why shouldn't you have Airbnb or Turo or buy tax liens or own real estate and stocks? Why should you not have 36 streams of income like me? Why not you? So I wrote out the 10 rules, and that's what I share with people so that I don't have to get on the phone and say them all the time. So as an example, rule number 1 is 30 minutes a day of personal development. If you're not infusing yourself with a podcast like this or a new book or a new thought, then the level of thinking that got you where you are is only going to get you to the same place that you are and not any further. If you're not doing that, you're going to basically be stuck. You're not going to move forward. And you're also not going to be fulfilled, because fulfillment comes from growth and progress. Rule number 2 is a step-by-step process for setting goals. 97% of the population don't set goals in writing, and they don't avail themselves of the reticular activating system, and therefore they struggle. They don't have focus, they don't have direction, they don't have clarity. It's like a declaration. Imagine you and I are sitting on the beach, and you have this dream where you want to, get out onto the ocean and go surfing. And I'm like ambivalent, I'm not really, but you're thinking, oh, it'd be super, super great. Well, your mind is going to be prone to it, and then somebody walks up to you and says, hey man, I'm going out surfing, you want to come? It's almost like the universe goes, yeah, well, Joseph is putting some energy in there, we got to send him resources. So, it sounds simple, but a lot of people don't do the things that are simple, like have a morning routine and things like that. So rule number 8 for me is tell me what you do before 8 o'clock in the morning and after 8 o'clock at night, and I can predict your financial future for the rest of your life. The reason is simple, is that people they'll do okay in the margins of life. From 9 to 5, they'll hobble their way through, they'll be at the office, they'll do their thing. Most people only get about 3.5 to 4 hours of effective work done in a day because of Parkinson's law. So I teach something called the Sunday System for Success, where we really drill down to what is your vision for the week? How intentional are you? What emotion do you bring to each appointment that you have each week? What are you looking to create, experience, or do? And really, really be purposeful about it. And when people spend that hour and a half on Sunday or Saturday or Friday, whatever works for them, I do it on Sundays, then they all of a sudden get more out of their week. They have less unforced errors. They're open to more opportunities, and their life starts to make a shift. The power of setting goals. Well, the quick answer is that if you're doing something that gives you instant gratification, like you're drinking, watching TV, playing video games, and mortgaging your future before or after 8 o'clock, surfing YouTube and looking at, stuff that gives you pleasure but doesn't give you fulfillment, then chances are you're not building a bright future. You're mortgaging the future. So that's the quick answer. The answer on the holistic side, or on the what I think is people that are living a purposeful, fulfilling life and that are creating value in the marketplace for themselves and others, would be journaling. It would be meditating, spending some time. Jeff Bezos apparently spends 2 hours a morning. I don't know because I'm not in his room, but visualizing in bed. Just visualizing what he wants to create. The average person wakes up, 32% of people check their email in bed, and they don't spend any time visualizing what they want to create. And Einstein says that the imagination is more powerful than knowledge and more important. So if you're not spending any time imagining what you want to create, how much are you going to actually create? Ironically, I think what it is that in school, you're told, sit down, be quiet, the bell rings, go here, do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. You're so used to being told what to do, and including probably told by your parents when to go to bed and brush your teeth. Then you get to college, you get a modicum of freedom, and you generally mess it up by partying and stuff like that, and I'm generalizing. Then you go into a job, and from 9 to 5, you're told what to do. But in the outside, before 8 and after 8, you're like, dude, nobody's going to tell me what to do. I'm going to do exactly what I feel like doing, which is a whole lot of nothing. And it's going to feel good. And that's what people think, instead of realizing that discipline actually leads to freedom. Planning actually leads to choice. So they have it all backwards, I think, because they just haven't been educated in that way.